Oh, I gotta change that. Guys, we're having a little technical difficulties here. Just give me a moment here. I'm trying to get the web page to show up here. Alright, come on. Alright, let's try this real quick. Boom. Okay. And then we'll go back and try to change that up. There we go. Alright. Sorry about that for the technical difficulties there, guys. Sometimes things don't always run smoothly. But today, let me get the price of Bitcoin showing up. Today, we have the price of Bitcoin trading at $94,300, on our way up to like 95K here. Let me just do a quick sound check. Make sure you guys can actually hear me. Alright, I can hear myself. Alright, good. Yeah, so let's get into it. Bitcoin, $94,320, up $3,000 today. Having a good day. I'm on the 15-minute time frame because I'm just trying to figure out, you know, how much further could this move go up if it's getting a little bit too tired and too exhausted. We can see that on the 15-minute time frame that the RSI for Bitcoin is at 85, so it's clearly overbought. Kind of getting probably a short squeeze right now. The shorts are getting destroyed as we celebrate the good news about the JOLTS report showing that there are job openings here in the United States, that we don't really have to worry about too much about unemployment being an issue and possibly going into a recession here because of the JOLTS report. I'm going to try to show that to you guys real quick here. What the JOLTS report came in at. So let me just show that here. Forex Factory is a good website where I get this data from. And if I just scroll down here to today, you know, today being December 9th, you can see that the JOLTS opening, right? The JOLTS opening, we actually had 7.6 million job openings. They're expecting 7.14. Okay, so there are jobs to be had if people are looking for jobs. We don't have to worry about that. And then also here on the ADP weekly employment change, last week we lost 13,000 jobs, but this week we actually had a positive number. We had 4.8 thousand jobs for this week. So That takes a little bit of fear and anxiety that we might be going into a recession or losing jobs. That's now off the table. The Federal Reserve can now focus back on inflation again. And even inflation hasn't really been too much of an issue from what we've got so far on the jobs report. I mean, on the inflation reports. But we'll see. I mean, there's going to be some more inflation and employment reports coming out later on this month, going into next month as well. So we'll have to pay attention to that. But right now, the market's like it. Crypto, Bitcoin is up. Obviously, I just showed that to you. But Ethereum is up 8%. Solana's up 8%. Sui's up 6%. And ICP, Zcash, all up 8%. A lot of these cryptos are up 8%. Some of them even higher than that in the double digits here. Okay. And then also, if I scroll down to just showing you how the stock market's receiving it, the S&P 500 is up on the news, so is the NASDAQ and the Dow Jones. But it seems like crypto is definitely loving it because a lot of these cryptos are up 8% or more. So risk, it seems as though risk is back on. Okay. We are ready to probably go to higher prices here. I think we'll still butt up our head. You know, for Bitcoin, we'll still butt our head up against like 95, 96K. I'm expecting maybe 95K later on today, and then maybe 96K going into tomorrow. Then I'm expecting a little bit of sideways trading action, only because we had a little bit of sideways trading action here back in the middle of November. Okay. And also we had sideways trading action here around 95, 96K back here in April, the end of April going into the beginning of May. And then also 95, 96K has been a level to look out for here in February of 2025, and also here in January and December of last year. So there's going to be a lot of people here who are going to make some decisions as to whether or not they still want to stay in Bitcoin, because they're going to be back to break even. And if they're not fully convinced that Bitcoin's not going to go to higher prices, then all these people that bought throughout the year, past 12 months at 95, 96K, they're probably going to hit the sell button. They're going to click the sell button. And are you going to join them, or are you going to continue to hold on to your spot bags? And maybe we might see Bitcoin go to higher prices here. Bitcoin still has a lot of work to do. All right. Some people call this a bear flag. It could still break down into a bear flag where we go down to lower prices. We might just end up making another lower high compared to the highs that we made here back in November. Where, you know, does anybody remember Bitcoin being at 107 grand in November? Because it was, even though it was pretty bloody. And then, you know, back here in October when we saw Bitcoin at $116,000, okay, that was a lower high, and then another lower high. And could we end up making another lower high below 100K? I don't know. But levels to look out for to the upside is it would be nice to see if Bitcoin could get up to 109K. If Bitcoin can get up to 109K, that's the red number right here. That's this red line here. This 200-day simple moving average is an area where I would become bullish again on Bitcoin if Bitcoin ever does that. Okay, seems like a lot to ask for, you know, with Bitcoin being at 93K right now. 109K is where I stop being bearish and I start becoming more bullish again. Also, some areas that I'm not sure it might be obvious for some people, but if we get past 95, 96K, let me throw in the VRVP indicator here. We get past 95, 96K, which is a high volume node here. There's a gap in the VRVP, and there's a little bit of a resistance at 100, 101, 102K. But then also between 103 to 105K, there's a good gap where people were buying and selling Bitcoin at that area, especially around June. Earlier this year in June, those people there, they might decide to click the sell button just to break even on Bitcoin. So that is another level that I'm looking for, as well as the 95, 96K. I'm looking for 102 to 105K as an area that we should be thinking about selling some of our spot bags if we're trying to hold on to some profits here. All right, let me see what you guys are saying in the chat. Try to catch up on the chat here. Did a little bit of analysis on Bitcoin. DZ's in the chat says, what's going on with the market? DZ says, let's look at Zora and ALCX. Go ahead and write those down. Thank you for those first 2 requests for the stream here. And let's see, we got another guy here about Hassan. Hassan says it will dump to 70K after this pump. How are you so sure? We take it one day at a time here, but we do like to look at the levels here, look at the charts to figure out, you know, what it might do next. There's some levels below us before we even go down to 70K, but if that's your number that you're looking for, doesn't seem too far off. We could do that. We have seen Bitcoin at 74K back in back in April, right around this area. So 74K, yeah, 70K sounds like could be a possibility. Could be a possibility. Let me go ahead and write these requests down. So we're gonna look at Zora. And then ALCX as one of the first 2 requests here. And then DC says that the market's trying to price in that 25 basis point move tomorrow. Some people would say that they've already priced that into the markets. That's the reason why the market's already up and hasn't dropped down yet. I think the JOLTS report is the new bit of information that we got today that is causing the cryptocurrency market to go up in price. And then we were kind of poised to do a little bit of a short squeeze had we gotten any good bit of news here. So I think that's also affecting the cryptocurrency markets right now. If you look at the stock market is just like, oh, okay, but crypto's going like, oh my god, JOLTS report, people have jobs, there's jobs available. And yeah, maybe we might be getting a bit too excited, but you know, with high risk assets like Bitcoin and crypto, it doesn't really take too much good news for the markets to just run with it. Okay, so we're kind of getting a little bit of that going on here. Let me just finish up by getting into the 1 hour and 15 minute time frame on Bitcoin, and then we'll look at Zora and ALCX for you. Alright, so let's look at Bitcoin on the 1 hour time frame here, and I'll pull up the oscillators as well to figure out, you know, what's going on here. Alright. So hopefully you guys are able to see the indicators below me. I got the RSI showing that on the 1 hour time frame, Bitcoin is a little bit overbought at 71 on the RSI. Anything above 70 is considered overbought, so we're slightly overbought. Around 11 o'clock in the morning, Eastern time here, we were a little bit more overbought at 77 on the RSI. So that's like kind of like an indicator that, you know, there might be time to be taking some profits on Bitcoin. You might be already seeing that because when I started the stream, we were at 94K, but now Bitcoin's at 93,700. And then here on the market cipher B indicator, we do see money flowing into Bitcoin. It started flipping from red to green around 8 o'clock this morning on the 1 hour time frame, and you got a green buy dot here that showed up at 10 a.m. So far, you're just waiting to see when a red sell dot comes in. When you see a red sell dot comes in, it's probably time to take some profit on Bitcoin. Okay, at least on the 1 hour time frame if you're using that for a reference here. And then here on the MACD, the momentum indicator, 1 hour time frame, we see that Bitcoin buying pressure has come in this morning. Obviously, selling pressure has died down. And you got that MACD crossover from, you know, the blue line getting on top of the orange line. That happened around 6 o'clock this morning. And now it's running with it, okay? I wouldn't really be worried about Bitcoin coming down in price until you see this blue line start curving back down again, all right? But that hasn't happened yet, at least not on the 1 hour time frame. Let's go into the 15-minute time frame, see how that's doing. Here in the 15-minute time frame, there is buying pressure is starting to die down a little bit here. Not as crazy as it was about an hour ago. Okay, and of course, yeah, you have the MACD crossover, and you have the MACD flip from selling pressure into buying pressure earlier this morning around like 10 a.m. This looks like the blue line is starting to curve down. So on the 15-minute time frame, we might be cooling down here on Bitcoin, right? So if Bitcoin goes back up to 94K, I might have to close out one of my longs here on Bitcoin. Just to lock in some profits here. I am currently long in Bitcoin. I was long in Solana last night But then I decided, you know what, I don't want to expose myself too much just in case, you know, market does drop down for whatever reason. But I also got into a long on virtual. So I have a long on virtuals and a long on Bitcoin at this moment that are playing out pretty nicely for me. So yeah, here on the 15-minute time frame, a little bit of cause of concern here. You know, we are overbought here on the RSI for Bitcoin. RSI is at 75 on the 15-minute time frame. We were about in the 80s about an hour ago. So it could be time to take some profits on your longs if you are in any leverage day trade longs like myself. I should probably be taking profits sooner rather than later. But you know, with the overbought, you know, being overbought on the RSI, right? This thing could stay overbought, you know, for like another hour or two on the 15-minute time frame. You know, it could come down a little bit, only to then come back up, make a little lower high, and we might see some bearish divergence playing out here later on this afternoon, going into this evening here. So that's what I see here with Bitcoin. Obviously, we're getting the move up to higher prices, but we might see some sideways consolidation. We might still go up just a little bit. We might actually hit 95K later on today or tonight. But right now, I think Bitcoin is going to try to cool down a little bit and go sideways. I don't know if we're going to immediately come back down because, like, you know, that was a pretty big move up. I think people are still getting short squeezed right now. Let's take a liquidation heat map just to see what that looks like, and then we'll look at see what the longs are doing as far as like longs and shorts getting liquidated. Let me go ahead and refresh this page here. The liquidation heat map refresh there. But we do now have a lot of liquidation below us at $92,400. We have $65 million of leverage down there. That's where Bitcoin could come down if it does decide to come down. There's also some more leverage at $92,800 Bitcoin. About $49 million worth of longs are sitting in their positions there. To the upside, there's not really that much to the upside. All right, let me see. Come on, chat. Come on. All right. To the upside, we do have some liquidation above us at 95,275. Liquidation leverage is showing about $37 million of possible shorts that could get liquidated if we get up to like 95,200. And then let's look at the just regular liquidation here. See who's getting liquidated. And the last 1 hour, the shorts have been getting wrecked. $80 million of shorts have been got liquidated. Only $9 million of longs. There's still longs that are getting liquidated even though the price is going up. Believe it or not, that's kind of crazy to think of, but might be because their stop losses are too tight. Market comes down, stops them out, and sends the price back up again. In the last 24 hours, we've had about $300 million of shorts get liquidated and about $84 million of longs getting liquidated. So that shows you the story that right now the longs are winning the battle for higher prices, and the shorts are getting pretty much liquidated and short squeezed right now. All right, let's start moving on back to the charts. We'll take a look at Zora and ALCX, and I'll see what you guys are saying here on TikTok as well. Let me just check up on the chat here real quick. I see we got Mario in the chat. Good to see you, Mario. And then Sunshine says, are we going to 100K? If we continue doing what we're doing right now, we'll see 100K. I think we might see 95K later on tonight, going into tomorrow. And then I think Bitcoin's going to probably trade sideways. Tomorrow's going to be a volatile day for all the markets. And Bitcoin might squeeze up to like 95, 96, maybe even 97K. But then it could do a move where it goes up and then comes right back down again. So I really don't want to trade tomorrow. I kind of want to take my profits today and then just watch the fireworks tomorrow. And if I do take a trade, it's going to be like a small leverage trade, not too much of a big position. Maybe I'd do like a small scalp if I want to, but I'm not going to try to go crazy on day trading tomorrow because I know it's going to be a very volatile day. And I think, not financial advice, but I don't think anybody should try to go crazy on the day trading tomorrow. All right, we're looking at Zora right now. Let's get into the daily time frame here for Zora. Zora currently trading at 5 pennies right now, up 6.8% today. It's a good solid move. I think most cryptos are up like 6, 7, 8%. The 200-day moving average is starting to show up here. This is the red line. So that's going to probably be a limiting factor that's going to prevent you from going to higher prices initially, is this 200-day moving average at 0.053 pennies. I think we were talking about this yesterday, DZ. If Zora does go above the 21 EMA, which it's already at right now, we said get above the 21 EMA, and then also, you know, right below the 200-day moving average. This is a good like target zone to take profit on Zora. If you're in a, I'm not sure if you're in a leverage trade, a day trade, or if you're you know, maybe in a spot, you got spot bags or whatever, but I would try to offload and take profit somewhere between 5 cents and 0.053 pennies here, which we're kind of at right now. All right, because we just don't know what's going to happen with tomorrow. Even though people are positive about tomorrow, the Federal Reserve could, you know, they could lower interest rates, but then say that might be all you're going to get and not hint at another interest rate cut. And then the markets might be like, oh, you telling us the party's over already? And then they start dumping the stock market and the crypto market. Like, they might give us what some people call like a hawkish cut, which is, you know, hey, we're cutting interest rates, but don't expect this to happen again next month. You know, they might say something along those lines, and then the market might dump on us tomorrow, even though we're still getting an interest rate cut. So that's something that we have to watch out for here in the markets, here in crypto. But let me go back and just further analyze Zora here. If Zora was to push past this 200-day moving average, how far up could it go? There are some other moving averages above you, like the 50-day and the 100-day right above you at 0.066 pennies and 0.068 pennies. That should be another area that you could take profit if you're just using the moving averages here. I'm going to turn on my VRVP indicator here to figure out what other levels we could look for. See if the VRVP indicator agrees with those moving averages. Alright, so this is the VRVP indicator off to the right. It gives you the buys and sells. The buys are in the green, the sells in the red, and it shows you the price point and how much volume occurred at that price point. And right now you got the POC, which is a point of control at the highest volume node here on the VRVP indicator, and that's saying that at 0.059 pennies, just shy of 6 pennies. A lot of people bought and sold Zora over the last few months here at 6 pennies. So I would think about, strongly consider clicking the sell button at 6 pennies if you haven't done so already at like 5, you know, kind of like where we're at right now at 0.052 pennies. Okay. If you're able to push past 6 pennies, then yeah, then the volume starts to drop off, and there's not really that much resistance until you get up to like 7 pennies, which is kind of like where the 100-day and the 50-day is sitting at. So once again, you know, if you don't know how to set up the VRVP indicator and you're just using the moving averages and your chart kind of looks like this, I would take some profit at like right at these moving averages above us, at like 100-day, 50-day moving average right above you. I would strongly consider taking profit. Not financial advice, but I would take some profit if I had profit, right? All right. And then after that, I mean, could we get back up to 9 pennies again like we saw in October? Maybe, but I think we would need to see Bitcoin at all-time highs again, like we did see in October, for Zora to get up to that 9 penny level there. Hassan wants me to take a look at Zcash. All right, I'll try to take a look at Zcash. We'll look at that after ALCX here. Hey, Sugar Free Vibe, thank you for coming in, checking me out here on TikTok after looking at Bullish Babe's TikTok. Did she finish up her live stream? Just curious. I think she said she's going to try to come into my live stream, but she said she's a little bit busy today. So maybe we'll see her on a day when she's not too busy. But yeah, I appreciate you coming into the chat here. We're looking at Zora right now. I do cryptocurrency requests, so if you have a cryptocurrency you want me to take a look at, let me know. I also do stocks as well, not just cryptocurrencies, but I know a lot of people a lot of my followers, they do like to talk about cryptocurrencies, so I'm right there with you guys looking at the charts using the moving averages. I also use the VRVP indicator here, okay, and then I also look at the oscillators as well when I want to do a deep dive into an asset, okay. But anyways, let's move on to ALCX, and then we'll take a look at Zcash. Andreas wants to look at XRP. Alright, we'll take a look at that after Zcash. And then just on the corner of my eye, I just want to make sure. I was thinking about taking some profit on my Bitcoin long. I want to wait until Bitcoin gets back up to 94K. Maybe I'll take some profit there. I should probably set an alert for that. Let me see if I could put an alert for 94K. Price crossing. Nope, I want Bitcoin, not ALCX. All right, let me get out of. Here we go. Put an alert for this one. Let me know when it hits 94K, please. Thank you very much. Only once. Yep. Okay. Got an alert there. Let's go back to ALCX now. Alright, so we're looking at ALCX. I believe it's called MEXC, up slightly today, 3.48%, currently trading at $10.12. We have looked at this chart. I got previous chart work here. I got a Fibonacci that I drew from $6.19 was, I believe, the low. One of the lows here. Yeah, $6.14 was the low here in November 14th. So let me just readjust this. Fibonacci down to 614. Around that area. And I measured that Fibonacci to the high. The swing high was as high as $20.38. And it gives me these Fibonacci numbers to look for. We've already came down significantly from that $20 level here, and now we're kind of getting a little bit of a bounce off of the 200-day moving averages, as well as this 0.236 retracement level at $9.50. Don't lose these moving averages, and I think you'll be all right to probably continue to higher prices on ALCX, right? Show that there is some support here. I kind of see that we have made some higher lows here. Around November 9th, we got as low as $8.66. And then here, November 28th, we got as low as $8.96. So you're still making higher lows here. Been frustrating the crap out of the bears that want to send the price to lower prices here. And once the bears start to give up, and maybe if we get a little bit of a short squeeze rally here, you could probably see the 0.32 level at $11.59 is the next level I think MEXC could go up to. So I'd be thinking about taking profit when you hit that 0.382 level there, $11.59. I'm going to zoom out here a little bit more, and let's see what the VRVP indicator has to say. I think the VRVP indicator is kind of like, it's a very powerful indicator, and sometimes I would take data off of this more so than looking at the Fibonacci. The Fibonacci kind of gives you an idea as to like where prices might go next, but the VRVP indicator is going to show you where more than likely the price is actually going to go based off of where the previous buys and sells were. And right now you got a point of control. The highest volume node is sitting at $10.90. If we are able to get to $10.90, okay, we might get rejected initially and then make it higher low and then come back up and retest it again. But I think 1090 is going to be a tough area for us to get past. But if we're able to get past that, then yeah, of course that $11.59 area should come into play. But then you also got another high volume node here at like roughly 12 bucks. Okay, could be where you get rejected again if you actually do go up to higher prices here on MEXC. But once you get past $12, then the volume starts to drop off on the VRVP indicator. and we're looking at maybe 1388 or even this value area high at 1456. It looks like the value area high is confluent with the 618 golden pocket. So if you're using Fibonacci, you're probably looking at the golden pocket here at $14.95 as an area to target for taking profit. But also the VRVP indicator also agrees that there's a lot of volume there as well, and you should be taking profit on Alchemix once it gets up to like $14-15 for sure. DZ has another request for recall. We'll have to look at that after XRP here. And thank you, B, for following me here on TikTok. MLB says, what are my thoughts on Ethereum? Is it going way down with Bitcoin within the next 7 days? Going way down? Hasn't it already gone down? I think we're kind of like getting a relief rally in Bitcoin and Ethereum. And that relief rally could send Bitcoin up to like 96K or even 100K again. And if that's the case, then I doubt that Ethereum is going to go down if Bitcoin is going up, right? We just don't know. I mean, that's why we look at the charts all the time here, especially for the day traders here. But I think last time I checked the Bitcoin, let me just go back into Bitcoin here, right? The nice thing that I saw here with Bitcoin, let me just get rid of the VRVP for now. The nice thing that I saw on Bitcoin on the 5-day chart, obviously we're getting a bounce off the 100-day moving average. That was nice to see. But here on the oscillators here, selling pressure is dying down on Bitcoin, okay? On the MACD, on the 5-day chart for the MACD. You got the blue line here starting to curve back up. If this blue line crosses that orange line, you'll get a MACD crossover, which could signify that there could be even higher prices for Bitcoin in the future here. Then the other thing that I saw here was on Market Cipher B, on the 5-day chart, we saw a green buy dot show up here this week, saying that we're probably going to see a few more good days, a few more good weeks ahead of us for Bitcoin. So I don't know if Bitcoin's going to go down to like, you know, we had another guy here saying Bitcoin could go down to 70K. It might, but initially we might go up to like 100K or even 110K before we then go down to 70K. Okay. Right now, my targets are like, I'm expecting Bitcoin to hit 95, 96K later on this week, maybe even tonight or tomorrow. And then I'm expecting Bitcoin to probably try to get up to like 102K, right? And that was because I was looking at the VRVP indicator. If I can pull up real quick here, we got some high volume nodes here at like 95K, which is we're kind of coming up against that right now. And then we also got some high volume nodes here at about 102, 103, 104K here is where I would expect Bitcoin to, you know, if we do make a lower high, I would expect it to happen somewhere at 104K, and then we go down to lower prices. Okay, so but right now I think we're in a relief rally. The bears are calling this a bear flag because they've seen that happen a couple of times already in November and October. But I think going forward, like, you know, the bulls keep running with it. It's not going to be a bear flag anymore. It's going to be a relief rally, maybe even a V-shaped recovery, and we could see Bitcoin at 100K all over again, surprising the bears, surprising the shorts. Okay, but yeah, that's my thoughts about Bitcoin, and you know, Ethereum's going to probably follow suit. Ethereum's going to probably do the same thing. The chart kind of looks the same thing with Ethereum. Ethereum will start climbing back up if Bitcoin's going to be climbing up as well. I see we got Darren in the chat. How's the kids doing today, Darren? Are they keeping you sane or keeping you busy? Let me know how the kids are doing. Appreciate you coming in the chat here. All right, so we gotta take a look at Zcash next, and then we'll take a look at XRP. I think I got Zcash as one of my coins I'm watching on the watch list here. All right, let's get into the daily time frame here. Looking at Zcash, currently trading at $444, up 9.5% today. And I'm still using the VRVP indicator because I feel like that's a very useful indicator to have here. And you know, we have talked about Zcash over the last 3 days, last couple of weeks here, because it's been like a very interesting cryptocurrency to be watching here. And when Zcash was nosediving down the lower prices here, I was, you know, wondering if Zcash was actually going to go down to this volume node here at 275, which it didn't, but that was a price I was looking for Zcash, which was confluent with the 50-day moving average. This green line here, that 50-day moving average could have acted as support, but looks like the traders and investors, they front ran the 50-day moving average. They front ran this volume here on the VRVP indicator here, and we came up. We got a bounce off the value area low. So the value area low sitting at 311 bucks. If Zcash was to get rejected and come down, I would expect it to come down towards the value area low. But actually, we do have now a point of control. This POC highest volume node is now sitting at 340. If Zcash was to start coming down, I would expect to get some support at 340 bucks here, just using the VRVP indicator. The highest volume node shows that there's a lot of support here. People were buying and selling Zcash at 340 around over here, and also back here in October. Okay, so with that being said, looks like we're getting the bounce off of Zcash, and if Zcash is going to continue being bullish and just, you know, get a few more green candles here, there is a little bit of volume. You could get rejected at 450, 458, 460. That was the level that I have been looking for. You know, the last couple of days here, I was like, all right, well, if Zcash is going to be bullish, then 460 is probably going to be where this thing might get rejected. And 460 is also where this white line, this 21 EMA, is curving back down right now. It's hanging out at 457 right now. So I think 457, 458, 460 might be where Zcash goes next, maybe later on today or tomorrow. And then it might just go sideways there, take a breather, maybe make a bull flag, and then kind of launch up to higher prices. But I'm expecting 458, 460 to kind of be where it chills out for a little bit. Just, you know, maybe for a few hours or a few days here before it tries to go up to higher prices. And if we're able to get past, you know, this 21 EMA, then there is some more volume here. Oh, there you go. Bitcoin just hit 94K. So I'm thinking about taking profit on some of my my Bitcoin here. All right. So anyways, let me get rid of this alert. If Zcash continues past 460, there is some volume here at 504. It's a psychological number for a lot of people. I would consider taking profit on my Zcash longs or my spot bags at $500, because I think all the people are going to try to do the same. Because there are some people here that bought Zcash in November at $500, thinking that they caught the dip, only for this thing to just continue dipping down on them some more. So if they're not in it for a long-term trade or you know, a long-term investment, the people that bought here in November, they're probably going to hit the sell button just to get out at break even on their Zcash longs and spot bags here. Okay, but if we're able to make it past that, then you got the value area high, this white line at 545, and then you got some more volume here at 574, and we'll just have to take it one day at a time. But I think Zcash is marching its way up to higher prices, and we do have some targets to look forward to the upside, but we also have some targets to the downside. The downside targets is we could come back to this point of control at 343, and then there's also a little bit of volume here at like 386 and 409 that could act as support as well. Okay, I love using this VRVP indicator because it's like real world data that shows us the prices that we should be looking for both upside and downside targets. Sugar-free vibe asking, what does point of control mean? Point of control is the highest volume on this VRVP indicator. So you see how like the VRVP indicator, we have like some volume here, some more volume over here, and then it goes down, goes up. You get these little spikes, these little nodes is what we call it. The point of control is just the node that has the most volume, and it's an area that usually the price kind of gravitates back towards to. So if we're above the point of control, we usually come back to it. If we're below it, we usually come right back up to it. Okay, so that's why it's a very interesting level to be looking for on the charts here. And you know, we just call it the point of control because it's just the highest volume node on the VRVP indicator. But you know, this could change depending upon how much data you put into it, because if I zoom out further and I show you like information from like July of 2025, you see the point of control kind of adjusts itself. Now it's at like 337. But if I zoom out even further, like you go back to like November of last year, you can see that the point of control now jumps all the way down to like, it drops all the way down to like 39 bucks here, because now we're getting data from November of last year as well as data from this year. But that's one of the cool things about the VRVP indicator, is that you can adjust it to whatever time frame, whatever date range you want to use. For the most recent data, you know, if I want to take into account this little pump that we got here in September, I can just zoom in until we have September over here. And now you can see I got rid of all the data from like 2024, and I'm just looking at information from September of this year. And this gives me ideas like, all right, in this most recent pump that we had here on Zcash, where is the most likely area for the price to go to? And it's at that point of control, that blue line. It's the highest volume node here, and it's sitting at 340. So hopefully that helps. Okay, I actually have a video here on TikTok. Since you're here on TikTok, I have a video on TikTok that talks about the VRVP indicator and how to set it up and how I trade with it. It's one of the videos that I pinned here on the top of my channel here. It's got about 1,800 views. A lot of people want to learn more about that VRVP indicator there. So yeah, that's another good video. And then for those who want to know about the Fibonacci, I got another video that's pinned that talks about the Fibonacci. And for the beginner traders and investors who are just new to the charts in general, and you're just trying to figure out what all this means on the charts, I do have another tutorial video here that's pinned that talks about, you know, what a candlestick chart is, what the candles mean, what is the RSI, what is the MACD, all the stuff there, and then how do I set up the moving averages. All that good stuff is in that video as well. But let's see, I was gonna try to look at selling some of my Bitcoin long here. Okay, let's take a look at it real quick. Put the refresh button here. Alright, so I am in a Bitcoin long here. I'm up about $124. I think I was trying to target 95K, but I don't know if we're going to see that right away or even later on today. So I actually am thinking about selling some of my Bitcoin long here. I'm probably going to actually sell all of it, because I am in another long that could benefit with the price of Bitcoin going up. So up $124. I feel like that's a good trade, right? I got in at $89,000 yesterday for my Bitcoin long, and I'm gonna probably go ahead and close that out at 94K here. All right, I only chose 95K because if it happened while I was sleeping or away from the computer, that would have been nice. But yeah, I had a take profit at 95K, and I had a stop loss at 89,520. And just to show you, you know, that I am a good trader that actually takes profit, that I need to do the right things and actually take profit here. I'm going to do that for you guys. I'm going to take some profit on this Bitcoin long. All right. All right, what's up? All right, I'm going to probably have to go into derivatives here to close this out. But I still got my 3 contracts of Bitcoin that I got in at 89,890. And I was trying to close the position, please. Yep. go ahead. And I'm just going to close it at market price because I want to get out now. I don't want to wait. There we go. I close it out. Boom. I no longer have those 3 contracts of Bitcoin now. And the funny thing about Coinbase is sometimes after you sell a position, it will say that you're negative, even though I was in profit here. I just gotta click the refresh button sometimes. It takes time for it to like figure out what you just did there. But up $94 for the day is not a bad position to be in. And then here I also have a long on MEXC. I'm long in virtuals right now, 6x long. I got in at 83 cents last night. Right now virtuals trading at 91 cents. And about up 53% on that position, up $78. So yeah, that one I want to see if I can actually take that to 93 cents here. My take profit is at 93 cents, and if I do take profit at 93 cents, then I'll make $96 on that trade. And I haven't even got a chance to adjust the stop loss, but my stop loss, I have it at 81 cents. I'll lose $24 if we go down there. I should probably put the stop loss higher, at least to break even. And my break even would be about 83 cents. So I'll probably put this at 84 cents. Have a little bit of profit on the, yeah. So we would have to come back to 84 cents. And if we do, I'll get stopped out. I'll make only $2 on that trade. But nice to know that I'm in a winning trade here, where even if I get stopped out, I'll still make some money. And if we continue up to higher prices, I'll make more money. Boom, put that in. So there you go. And I can just look at the chart and check my work here. Oh wait, I'm in the wrong. I got put in virtuals here. Yeah, I want virtuals. Virtuals, por favor. All right. So yeah, that's very nice to see. You know, nice little jump here on the 15-minute time frame. I bought this virtual position last night around like 9:45 Eastern time last night, Monday night. Was it Monday night? I can't remember the days. What's today? Today's Tuesday. Yeah, today's Tuesday because tomorrow's Wednesday. Yeah. But very nice to get that JOLTS report, setting us up to higher prices. My take profits is 93 cents here. Why did I choose 93 cents? I think because I was looking at the VRVP indicator. I'm gonna have to go into trading view here again, but I was looking at the VRVP indicator, and it was showing there was volume at 93 cents. So that's one reason why I want to take profit at 93 cents. But even if I wasn't to look at the VRVP indicator and I was just looking at previous price action, you see here back in December 4th, last week, we were at like 91, 92 cents here on virtuals. And we even got up as high as 93 cents here on December 4th. So I think this is a good area to be targeting for take profit. 93, 94 cents, even 92 cents, somewhere in this area. I'm about to take profit on this one. This one's ready to come out of the oven as well. Okay. But yeah. All right. That's enough about my trades here. I'm glad to see that they did pretty well today. Let's look at we gotta look at XRP and then recall. And let me just check up on the chat, see what you guys are saying now. I see we got Cameron's in the chat. Good to see you, Cameron. And Bullish Babe has joined. Hey, Bullish Babe, how you doing? All right, so Bullish Babe was able to come check out the chat here, or come in the live stream. We're gonna now look at XRP, see how XRP is doing. I'll get rid of the VRVP indicator for now, and then we'll pull up later. XRP currently trading at $2.15, up 3.79% today. And I mean, I'm sure you guys are all familiar with the chart. XRP has been range bound almost all throughout the year between like where it's at right now at $2, and we have seen $3 XRP, but that seems to be the range. Okay, and because that's the range, I do want to pull up the VRVP indicator and show you guys what that looks like with the VRVP indicator to see what levels are important for us to look for here. And the VRVP indicator is showing that we have a value area low at $1.98. Point of control, the blue line, is at $2.41, and the value area high is at $2.80, $2.81, somewhere in that area. Okay. So with that being said, with us being at $2.15, I don't want to see XRP go lower than $1.98, because if you lose $1.98, it could be game over. Where if we lose $1.98 and we don't start, you know, catching some bids around that area, the volume starts to drop off, and we have a high volume node here at like $1.50 is where XRP could go if we're going to be bearish here, if we're going to lose $1.98. I think over here in the previous price action here, you see $1.98 was, $1.50 was where we were trading at sideways back in November of last year. The people that bought here, they're not going to panic sell until until XRP goes below $1.50, and then they might decide to join in on the selling party and actually click the sell button if we lose $1.40, $1.50 here. Okay. Well, let me just go back to the price action right now. And you can see that when I adjust the chart, the VRVP indicator will adjust itself as well, but usually the data stays the same for the most part unless you include more data. But I think I want to use this right here. So highest volume node sitting at like 220. We're kind of like at that right now. If we can get past 220, there is some more volume here at 230, and then of course some more volume here at 240. That's going to be the levels to look for XRP in the near future, 230 and 240. If you can get past 230 and $2.40 here, then the volume starts to drop off on the VRVP indicator, and you don't get much resistance until you get to like 280, 285, which is where that value area high is sitting at. As we're making that climb up to higher prices here on XRP, the guys that are watching the moving averages on the daily time frame, they might look at the 200-day, which is that red line, and the 50-day, which is that green line, and they might decide to initially sell off their XRP positions, and that could cause some resistance between about $2.54 and $2.60. Somewhere in that area could be another resistance area for XRP before it does go up to like 280, 285. But I would be targeting 280, 285, not get too greedy. That is an area that a lot of people were buying XRP back here in September, August, earlier this summer. These people, if they're not true believers in XRP, if XRP gets up to like 280, which is the price that they bought it back here in August, they might decide to just click the sell button and break even. Alright, so there's going to be some resistance at 280 if XRP does get up to 280. I'm not saying that it won't, but when it does, there's going to be some people who are going to be interested in hitting that sell button. So it's up to you if you're going to join them and sell some of your XRP at 280, or maybe you wait for higher prices. But you know, for those who are trading XRP and they're buying it now to sell it at a higher price, I think 280 is the price that you're looking for. Alright, and that's just using the VRVP indicator here. I do have other things on the chart as well. We have the moving averages here. But then also, I did have a Fibonacci here on XRP, which was useful earlier this summer. It was giving us the levels to look for. And you can see like the 0.5 retracement at 278 was an area that was interesting, where I think that's where back here in the summer people were buying XRP at 278, 280 because they saw it as a Fibonacci level for them to buy it at. Okay. And then also above there, you do got the 618 golden pocket and the 65 level here at basically $3 XRP. which is confluent with being a psychological number for a lot of people to remember, that is also an area where XRP could get sold off as well. Okay. I see we have Lauren A in the chat. Good to see you, Lauren. Thank you for joining the live stream here. So that's XRP as far as upside targets, and then I also gave you the downside targets. Don't go lower than basically $2 or $1.98 to be exact if you're using the VRVP indicator here. But I think you know, if Bitcoin and crypto are going to start running back up to higher prices here, XRP is obviously going to follow suit. And we'll see how XRP handles itself, getting past 230, 240, and then of course the $2.60 level here, where that 200-day moving average is sitting at. All right, we'll move on and take a look at Recall. Is Recall a crypto or stock? I'm not all too familiar with. It seems like it is a crypto. There's just some cryptos out there that you know, if I had ever looked at it before, I'm pretty sure they do exist. They've been around for a while, but if they're also brand new, then I'm probably not gonna know much about it. But anyways, we're looking at Recall right now on data coming from Coinbase. I'm wondering if I should get another exchange here. Usually, like MEXC and Binance, they get these cryptos before Coinbase does. Oh no, looks like Recall on MEXC exchange. It only started showing up on MEXC back here in October. That's not too far. Let's say, what, a couple of months ago. And when it first came on the exchange, we saw it get as high as like $1.06. Right now, this thing is trading at 11 cents, so it's almost like a 90% drop. Looking like a true altcoin, like a true crypto, right? You come in with a bang, and then you just slowly bleed out to death here on on these cryptocurrencies, right? So obviously had a bad October going into November. Are we bottoming out? I guess is probably what your next question is going to be here with Recall, right? Are we bottoming out? I'm going to have to pull up the oscillators and see what the RSI is doing here on the daily time frame. It looks like you kind of made a higher low, 28.55 and 27. So, all right. A slightly higher low here on the RSI after making obviously lower lows here on price. Does anybody here know what this means? This is a divergence that we're looking at. I want to know if anybody knows what that is signifying. Is it bullish divergence, bearish divergence? Is it hidden bullish, hidden bearish divergence? I'm a little bit curious see if anybody knows what kind of divergence that is right there. Before I give the answer to that. Hassan is asking me here on YouTube, what is my trade style? Do you trade every day, once a week, or take a rest after profit? My trading style is I usually do momentum trading, so I like to try to catch a higher low if I can and sell at a higher price. And I like to use the momentum indicators like the MACD and the market cipher B indicator to help justify staying in the trade. And then when things start to pivot and go the other way, that's when I try to take profit. So that's my trading style, as a momentum trader. And that really helps me during my day trades. And then as far as like my swing trading, that also helps with swing trading as well. I like to take profit on. I'll do scalp trading during the day, and I'm trying to limit my scalps to maybe 1 or 2 trades. And if it doesn't work out, then it probably means that my day trade is just, my thesis is wrong, or the thing is not going to go in the direction that I want it to go for that day. But yeah, I try to do maybe like a leverage swing trade where I'll do like a 5, 10, or 20x leverage trade on a asset or a crypto that I plan on holding for 2 days, 3 or 4 days, and then take profit on the long or the short. So sometimes I do that as well. But it seems like the leverage swing trades and just swing trades in general play out better, more so than the day trade scalp trades. It's a little bit harder to to do day trading and scalp trading, because sometimes the asset just won't move and you're just waiting there like, hey, are we going to go up or are we going to go down? And then it just continues going sideways on you. And then sometimes it will go against you, and then it will actually go in the direction that you were betting it to go on, to go to whatever direction you were betting it on. So that can be frustrating as well as for day traders, such as myself. But anyways, I was waiting to see if anybody knew what kind of divergence that is. I haven't had anybody put the correct answer yet, but this is actually bullish divergence. So this could possibly mean that buyers are stepping in at these low prices, and recall might actually be bottoming out. It might. Let's look at another indicator here, see what's going on. We got the market cipher B indicator here. I see higher lows here on the momentum wave, this blue wave. I see money flow was very negative in November, but then money flow started decreasing towards the end of November, and now here we are. We got a little bit of green showing up here on money flow here in December for recall. So maybe there might be a better December than there was for November for this asset here. Also, you got a green buy dot that showed up here on the daily time frame on December 3rd, which was last week. So you got the green light for higher prices based off of that green buy dot here. And if this continues on, you're just waiting for a red sell dot to tell you like when you should take profit on this asset. But just looking at this asset, looking at recall, you got the 21 EMA. Is very important to see during like when you're in a bear market or a downdraft, because this is going to be the first line you got to get above to be bullish again, to start looking for some hope here. And you did get above that. You got above it here on December 4th, and then you tried to like bullishly consolidate around that 21 EMA, so that's okay. And it looks like you're using it as support, so I like this. You're creating kind of like a bull flag here. You're bullishly consolidating, and maybe you might get another leg up to higher prices for recall. And since this is a brand new asset, I don't have any moving averages to use besides the 21 EMA. This thing hasn't been around long enough for a 50-day or even a 100-day moving average to show up here. But if this was an asset that's been around for a while in a bear market, you would see those other moving averages above you, and that could give you targets to look for to the upside. But right now, the only average that we got is this 21 EMA on the daily time frame. If I go in the small time frames, you'll start seeing maybe some other moving averages. Like if I go into the 4-hour time frame, yeah, there's some other moving averages. You got the 50, the 100, and the 200, but this is on the 4-hour time frame. But I mean, I guess you could use that as a target to the upside. Like right now, the 200 moving average on the 4-hour time frame is sitting at 13.5 cents. You could use that as a take profit target. I think that's what happened earlier right here. I think, when we had this initial move up last week, I think some traders and investors were taking profit as soon as this thing got up to the 200 moving average, because you can see that we kind of got rejected off the 200 moving average. We didn't actually hit it or go above it, but we kind of front ran it a little bit and actually got sold off. So you can use the moving averages here on the 4-hour time frame to help figure out, where's a good area to sell this asset at. And I'm going to zoom out and try to use the VRVP indicator, see if the VRVP indicator has some interesting levels for us to look for. With the VRVP indicator, the highest volume node is this blue line right here, sitting at about 11 cents roughly, 0.108 pennies. That's going to be a support zone for now because you're above it. If we do come down, you want to see that you actually respect it and then bounce off and go to higher prices. If you lose that level, that 11 cent level, then you could come down to the value area low sitting at 8 cents for recall. Now those are your downside targets. Upside targets, well, there's really not that much. I mean, once you get past this point of control at 11 cents, the volume drops off significantly here. There is a little bit of something here, like 13, 14 cents, which is like right where that 200-day moving average is sitting at. So that's something to pay attention to. But then there's a little bit more at 15 cents, and then it just drops off, and you're kind of like in like no man's land where this thing could gap up right up to like 20 cents before it actually gets sold off. And 20 cents is this right where you had some previous sideways trading action here back in like the beginning of November. Anybody that bought here in November at 20 cents thinking that they caught the dip, they might actually sell. If this thing does go back up to 20 cents, they might sell just to break even if they're not fully convinced that this asset is a trade to be in. I see we got Red Film Set Series is in here. Good to see you. I'm doing all right. I'm doing good. And Professor was asking me, am I doing a long or short on recall? I'm just looking at this because somebody requested it. I can't remember who exactly, but we're just looking at, you know, recall because someone requested it. But I would be interested in taking longs because I think this thing has already been beaten down already. If you're spot trading, you probably put your stop loss at like 8 cents or like 7.5 cents. And if this thing goes and hits your stop loss, then it probably means this thing is not done going down yet. So you probably don't want to stick around and find out how much lower it could go. But I would be interested in taking longs because you're near the value area low, and the point of control is also kind of close to the value area low, and you got a lot of upside here for a long. I'd be looking for a long on recall if I was, you know, if you're gonna force me to take a trade on this one, I'd be looking for a long. Guys, let's not forget to hit that like button. Let's smash that like button. Let's try to get some more likes here in the stream. And for my YouTube guys, let's see if we get the likes to match the amount of people that are in the stream here. Appreciate that. Thank you. For my TikTok guys, all you gotta do is double tap that screen. That's how you send a like here. But let's see, what else are we saying here on the TikTok chat? I don't know why my viewership went down here on TikTok. It just went down. I still feel like TikTok does a shadow ban on cryptocurrency traders and investments here. Whenever crypto does well, they start limiting my views and they don't recommend my channel. When Bitcoin and crypto is crashing, then they send everybody my way. I feel like there's a conspiracy out there, but who knows? I don't know. I feel like me even talking about this is gonna cause TikTok to limit my views as well. It's tough to be a crypto analyst, I guess, if you want to call me that. Or, you know, just a crypto YouTuber, TikTok guy. Because when crypto's doing bad, that's when TikTok wants to show everybody, you know, what's going on with crypto. But when cryptocurrencies actually go up, TikTok starts limiting and they won't recommend people to my channel. It's crazy. It's really, I notice it. There's other influencers or KOLs, if you want to call them that. There's other YouTubers and TikTokers out there that talk about crypto, and they've also noticed that when cryptocurrency is going down, that's when they get the most views from TikTok. It's crazy. It's crazy that they do that. It's like almost like an agenda. But when cryptocurrency is actually having a good day, they don't want to show us. They don't want to show that cryptocurrency is actually going up. It's crazy. Bitcoin at 94K right now. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. Let's see how much further Bitcoin can go. Using the VRVP indicator on the 4-hour time frame. Like I said, I have been identified like 95, 96K is an area that I think Bitcoin could go up to next. I know it's only like $1,000 away, but it was an important level for us to be looking out for here. Once you get past 95, 96K, then the next high volume lows is going to be 102K. But I want to zoom in on the 15-minute time frame. I remember seeing that Bitcoin was kind of overbought here on the RSI. Let's see if that's still the case here. Yeah, Bitcoin's still overbought here on the RSI on the 15-minute time frame. But you need to see that overbought condition in order for us to push up to 95K. We could, we've seen, Bitcoin get overbought early this morning at 85 on the RSI and then drop down to like 75. And that could just be, creating another lower high. But, we could still go up to higher prices while we're creating these lower highs here on the 15-minute time frame. Market cipher B, we got a red sell dot saying it should be taking some profit here at 12 o'clock Eastern time. But the crazy thing about being overbought is and seeing a red sell dot, like you had a red sell dot here, and then boom, look at that, another green dot, and then another red sell dot. So you could get a green dot while still being in overbought conditions here for this asset, for Bitcoin. Now we're seeing Bitcoin at 94,100. Interesting. Would I try to take a short on Bitcoin is a question here. It would be, you could benefit by trying to short Bitcoin at 94K, but I think Bitcoin still wants to continue going up to higher prices before it will probably be a good short. Here in the 15-minute time frame, there's still some buying pressure here, and just because buying pressure is dying down with these light green candles, it could start increasing out of nowhere, especially if someone decides to like buy Bitcoin, a big player out of nowhere decides to buy some Bitcoin. I would want some confirmation before I enter a short on Bitcoin. I want to see this blue line, which is starting to curve down. That is the first indication that it could be time to take profit and short. When this blue line actually crosses the orange line to the downside, that's going to be my signal that shorting Bitcoin might be the right answer. Okay, but that hasn't happened yet. The orange line is still climbing up. The blue line is still, hanging out towards the high water mark here. I want to see that blue line cross the orange line to the downside for me to justify getting into a short on Bitcoin if I wanted to short Bitcoin later on this afternoon or this evening. Let's see what it looks like on a 5-minute time frame. 5-minute time frame, you already had that cross, okay? And you can see the selling pressure has come in here on the 5-minute time frame on the MACD for Bitcoin. But look, now selling pressure is kind of dying off, and you might get some buying pressure later on this afternoon. And even though like the blue line crossed the orange line right over here on the 5-minute time frame, it could just curve back up, and then you get the blue line crossing the orange line to the upside and get another MACD crossover. Okay, so it gets a little bit tricky on the smaller time frames here. Going back to a larger time frame, I want to look at the 1-hour time frame here. The 1-hour time frame shows that Bitcoin's still solid. This is why I think Bitcoin could go up to 95K later on this afternoon or this evening, because the buying pressure is still solid. Orange line is climbing, blue line's climbing. When that blue line starts curving downward, then I would start maybe looking for a short on Bitcoin to most likely play out. And then, of course, I gotta see that blue line cross the orange line to the downside, but it would have to like drop down right now, like significantly, to catch up to that orange line right now. The orange line is, I don't know if you can see it, but you can kind of see that orange line. It's kind of like hanging out where these green candles are at. But yeah, I'm waiting for the blue line to cross the orange to the downside, like it did right here. Like here on Monday morning, you saw the blue line cross the orange line on the 1-hour time frame, buying pressure dying down, and then selling pressure starting to increase, and that would have been your signal to get into a short on Bitcoin. Right? If I get rid of these other oscillators here, but like here on the 1-hour time frame, right? This was your signal to short Bitcoin, and you would have shorted it around 8 a.m. On Monday, yesterday, and then you would have benefited with Bitcoin going down in price from like what? You would have probably got in at 92K, and then you would have took it all the way down to like 89K. It's a decent short, and you got those red selling candles here, selling pressure showing you justifying to stay in that short until like the market changes direction on you. And you see that the selling pressure dies off here on the 1-hour time frame as Bitcoin tries to get a bounce off the moving averages here and goes up to higher prices. So this, this is all part of like momentum trading, right? Trying to find the pivot points here. Like you can see, like Bitcoin climbing up to higher prices, and then buying pressure dying down. Uh-oh, that's your first warning sign. And then your second warning sign is the crossover. When the blue crosses over to the orange, that's your second signal to like take a short. And then of course, then you see the selling pressure coming in on the MACD, and that's like your third signal to justify staying short until you see selling pressure dying down. And then that's like, all right, time to get out of the short. Thank you, Crypto Alpha, for following me here on TikTok. Appreciate that. Good to see you, D2 Miami. Good to see you. So I'm of the opinion that Bitcoin's going to continue going up to maybe 95 or 96K. And that should be good for my long that I got in virtuals, because virtuals should be climbing up to higher prices as well. I think this afternoon we're going to see higher prices here for Bitcoin. 15-minute time frame. Yeah, buying pressure dying down here in the 15-minute time frame. But it could start increasing again. Especially this is like a bull flag, and we're gonna go up to higher prices, break out to higher prices here. Yeah, it's not for certain. Nothing's certain in this game of trading and investing. But I think, especially if we see, buying pressure show up again, I think Bitcoin wants to head towards 95K. And then here on the 5-minute time frame, just looking at the MACD indicator, selling pressure is dying off. But, nothing is 100% certain. On the 5-minute time frame, selling pressure could be dying off, but then it could start increasing again. If it starts increasing again, then yeah, that's going to drop the price of Bitcoin. Let me see what virtual's looking like, because I'm in that trade right now. I gotta get back to analyzing my own positions here. So I think I have the stop loss on my virtuals. I got in virtuals yesterday at like 83 cents, last night at like 83 cents. And right now my stop loss is at 83 cents. It's at break even, but I think I might want to move my stop loss into profit. I don't want to turn, a good day into a bad day by having me, lose all my profits here. I probably put the stop loss. I think I'm gonna put the stop loss right below this last higher low here on the 5-minute time frame at like 89 cents. So let me go ahead and make that adjustment here on MEXC. All right, here we are on MEXC. 5-minute time frame, please. Thank you. So yeah, you can see we here on virtuals on the 5-minute time frame, we got a bounce off of that 21 EMA. It's showing that this thing is still bullish here. But I'm gonna go ahead and adjust my stop loss. I can make it really easy. I like using MEXC because you could just take the stop loss right here that I have at 84 cents, and you can just click on it and drag it right up to right over here below that last higher low. And now you can see that my stop loss is at 89.69 here. What a great number, right? And then I can just click on this to double check my work, and it says that this is a really good position to be in, guys. I got in at 83 cents here on virtuals with my 6x long. My take profit is going to be 93 cents, which I'll make 96 bucks if we do that. But if I get stopped out at 89 cents, I'll still make $61. So I'm in a win-win trade. No matter what, I'm going to win and make money today. It's a great position to be in. So I'm happy to see that. Click confirm. I like that. Those are the trades I like being in win-win trades where my stop loss is in profit and my take profit is obviously in profit as well. and I could just wait. I don't know if I want to do that to you guys here, you know, but maybe later on this afternoon my take profit will get hit. Or if it doesn't, then my stop loss gets hit. I still make money. D2 Miami is asking about KeyCat. That's your request for today? I guess I could take a look at that. I was gonna end the live stream, but you just put in that request just now. Guys, I want to know. I was thinking about doing live streams later on in the afternoon or evening slot. I was thinking about right now it's like 1:30 p.m. Eastern time. I was thinking about doing live streams at like 4 p.m. like 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern time, so I can still do some things during the day, but then catch up with you guys right around dinner time, and then have dinner myself. But let me know what your thoughts are about me going live later on around like 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern time. I feel like I might get some new people showing up to the chat if I do that. I might even get some people who still watch me during the afternoons. I might get them showing up in the live stream. I feel like I'll get more people showing up if I did a later live stream. But I don't know, you guys tell me. Does that sound like a good time slot to you guys? Just waiting to get some feedback from you guys. And thank you for liking the live stream. Appreciate that. Alright, so we're looking at KeyCat, Keyboard Cat, on the daily time frame here. Zooming out, trying to figure out what this thing has done this past year. Just like a lot of altcoins, kind of lackluster performance during 2025. We did see this thing get up to like 0.0088 pennies. We're just going to say 8,800 back here in May. And it hasn't been able to get back up to that price since then. Making lower highs and obviously lower lows to get to where we're at right now. Are we bottoming out is probably going to be your question. You know, are we bottoming out here on Keyboard Cat? I would have to look at the RSI. Let me try to pull that up if I can. Bing, bang, boom. Bing, bang, boom. We'll close this out for now. Alright. So, are we bottoming out on Keyboard Cat? First, I'm looking for bullish divergence. I guess you could call this bullish divergence, where you make it a lower high. A higher low here on the RSI. After you already made lower lows here on price. So, bulls did step up to buy here at like roughly, we'll call it 1,000. And you got your lowest low here at 829. So if you're in this for a swing trade, I'd probably put the stop loss below 800. I'm sorry, like, around like 800. Below 829 is where I put the stop loss. And if you're wrong, and you won't have to lose too much, right? If you were to enter now and you put your stop loss at 800, ooh, that's still a 40% drop from where we are right now. That's still a steep stop loss. But that's why I really wouldn't be putting too much money into these altcoins and cryptos unless you're okay with losing 40 or 50%. Well, how much higher could this thing go? I do like the fact that you're getting it above the 21 EMA, this white line here. That's good to see. Keep using that as support. And then you could probably launch up to higher prices. If you do launch up to higher prices, you got the 50-day moving average sitting at 2,415. That could be an area to take some profit. And then you got the other moving averages above you, the 3,000 level and 3,300. Going to be another good area to take some profit here. And as I start to zoom out, let's see what the VRVP indicator has to say about things here. So on the VRVP indicator, you got the value area low and the value area high. You basically got the whole value area above you. So this thing could be very, very undervalued. And you could just make money just trying to buy now and waiting for this thing to get back up to the value area low, sitting at 2300. About 2375, and that's right where that 50-day moving average is sitting at. So I'd be targeting 2370, 2400 as my first take profit target, and then second take profit target is going to be the point of control right here, this blue line at 3200. And if you still want to stay in the trade and hold on to a little small position, see how high it could go. I mean, once you get past 3200 and 3400. You got a gap in the VRVP, and there's some resistance here at 4,300. Then there's a lot more resistance here at 5,300. And then you get the value area high sitting at 6,000. So I'll probably take profit, right? Take profit at the value area low at 2,400. Take some more profit at 3,100 where that point of control is at. And then hold a small position, maybe like 30% of your original spot bag or whatever. And then see if you can get it up to 6,000 here, and then sell the rest of it at that area. That's how I would try to play a trade on that one. Did virtuals hit my take profit? I'm gonna keep coming back to that. No, not yet. And the highest that we got was like 92.15. Close to it, close to it. I'm gonna have to wait a little bit longer for my virtual trade to play out here. Right now, I'm up about $83 on that virtual trade. That's 6x long on virtuals. I could probably just take profit now, you know. Do I really want to wait for 96? I mean, I'm wait for 93 cents because if I wait for 93 cents, I'll make 96 bucks. Or I could just take profit right now, close out the trade, and make 85 bucks. So do I really want to wait for another 11 bucks here? I don't think so. I'm just going to close it here, guys. So I'm going to take profit on my longs. Why not? Oh no, we're going down to $84 up on the trade. Now I'm up $85. Let's see. This is what it looks like so far. I'm up like 58% on this trade. Got in at 83 cents. Right now we're at 91 cents. Not bad. 6x long and 0 fees. I don't pay any money on the fees here because MEXC is one of the best exchanges. Certain cryptocurrencies, they won't even charge you trading fees here. And there's my referral code. If you want to join MEXC, it says sign up to receive $20 and enjoy 0 fee trades. You can also message me here on TikTok or you. Well, actually, you can't message me on YouTube, but you can message me here on TikTok, and I can give you the link to join MEXC. And then you guys can also come find me on the Meet Damien Discord here. And I got my set up my referral bonuses here, where you can join MEXC. Right there, you can do Trading View and earn, you know. Get a $15 subscription. I'm sorry, $15 off of your subscription on TradingView. You can also join Coinbase and Kraken exchange as well for a referral bonus. Let's see. Let's try to see if I can show this to my my YouTube guys here. Oh no, I lost it. Where is it? No. I have to flip the screen over here. Come on. Alright, referral links and bonus. There we go. There we go. There's the Meet Damien Discord. In the Meet Damien Discord, I do have links to show you guys you know, if you guys want to join Coinbase or Kraken, this is Coinbase. You could start with 30 bucks here. I think MEXC was doing like $20 there for referral bonus. And TradingView, you got $15 on the referral bonus there. Alright, I just hate that I have to click the screen over here just to refresh things. But this is what I gotta do. Anyways, instead of me just messing around with this, there we go. Anyways. Alright. I sometimes hate my my live stream software here. I have to like refresh things, and it kind of like messes up the flow of my live stream here. But yeah, guys, I think that's gonna be it for this live stream here. I think Bitcoin is going to be marching its way up to 95K. If it doesn't, you know, this is going to probably be another lower high, and then we'll probably see where Bitcoin goes next. But we might revisit 90K or 87K one more time here, maybe make a higher low, and then try to march our way up to like 95, 96K. But I think right now we got a lot of positive catalysts. Federal Reserve is going to lower interest rates tomorrow, and if they say anything positive about maybe lowering interest rates again, the market's going to run with that, and we might see 100K Bitcoin if they give us any hint that they might lower interest rates tomorrow and going into like next month as well. But thank you guys for coming on to live stream. I got some things I need to do. I look forward to going live again. I'm going to try to go live tomorrow around 4 p.m. Eastern time. So right now it's like 1:43 p.m. So like a couple hours, you know, from where we are right now. I'm not going live tonight, but tomorrow I'll try to go live around 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern time. Okay. All right, guys. I'll look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Take care, and good luck trading in whatever asset you decide to get into. Take care, guys.